Soy Jorge Vázquez, 2 de la tarde con 2 minutos. Hoy en el show estaremos con Erika Basurto. Es más, ya estamos aquí en el programa con Erika Basurto, pero hable sobre Houston, 74 grados Fahrenheit la temperatura en este instante. Y lo que queremos es que hoy se pongan ustedes, se acomoden y disfruten de nuestro show, porque hoy vamos a hablar, bueno, con Erika siempre hablamos de bienes raíces. Pero muy particularmente el día de hoy con Erika vamos a tratar un caso que tiene que ver para aquellas personas que pueden ser varias casas, o pueden ustedes levantar un condominio y tener diferentes casas en renta. Yo hace poco, esta semana pasada, conocí a una persona, un muchacho no tan joven, no tan viejo tampoco, pero estaría como unos 43, 44 años, que había comprado como 6 acres de terreno en la parte de sobre el 59 Norte. Y en esa ubicación, en esos terrenos, él ha hecho como que tiene un ingreso particular, un ingreso, una carretera privada, y en el interior ha comenzado a construir diferentes viviendas, tanto casas móviles como algunas casas que van desde el piso, ¿verdad? O sea, las casas tradicionales. Y la idea de él es justamente rentarlas. Él es dueño ya del terreno, pero ya está haciendo de alguna manera, pues eso es un negocio de bienes raíces. Erika, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, como siempre, con mucha energía, llegando aquí con Jorgito y recibiendo a nuestra gente de Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, Austin, gente de Austin, de Chicago, de Florida, de California, toda esa gente que nos sigue por la magia de las redes sociales, nuestra gente de Houston que nos escucha aquí por la radio local. Y qué bueno que nos escuchan por la radio, Jorgito, porque ¿qué pasó hace 2 semanas cuando se cayeron las redes sociales? Sí. Y nadie se podía conectar a las redes sociales. ¿Qué pasó? La radio seguía transmitiendo. La gente que escucha radio decía, ¿cuál es el problema? Yo estoy escuchando a Erika sin ningún problema. Entonces, esa es la magia de la radio. Y como siempre, con mucha energía, porque hoy tengo un programazo, como todos los que tenemos, pero hoy es un programa diferente. ¿Quieres saber por qué, Jorge?
¿Por qué?
Porque es un programa, por primera vez tenemos un programa bilingüe.
¡Wow! Eso está interesante para la gente que necesite practicar su inglés.
Yes, my bilingual people, we have a bilingual radio show today for the first time. Erika Basurto enseñándote a invertir en bienes raíces. Así para los que hablan español, ¿ok? Pero entienden inglés. Porque hay gente que dice, yo entiendo, pero no lo hablo mucho. This is going to be a perfect time to learn.
Yes.
¿Ok? Y también Jorgito va a practicar.
Yo.
Sí.
I need more practice English.
Sí. Entonces, quédense ahí porque va a ser un programazo. Vamos a tener información, Jorge.
Por supuesto.
Sobre cómo comprar propiedades de renta. ¿Por qué invertir en propiedades de renta? ¿Cómo identificar una propiedad de renta? Si tiene potencial o no tiene. ¿Y qué tipo de financiamiento debo de usar? ¿Uso mi dinero? ¿Uso un préstamo? También qué tipo de contratos debemos de usar, porque a veces nada más las rentamos así y decimos, bueno, ahí ojalá me vaya bien y me persino y que me salga bueno el rentero, ¿verdad? Reparaciones, ¿quién paga qué? Eso es importante. Una vez que ya compraste tu propiedad dices, ya la hice. Pero no, ¿qué pasa cuando se tapa el toilet? ¿Qué pasa cuando hay cucarachas? ¿Qué pasa ese tipo de cosas? ¿Quién paga qué? Tienes que saber.
Oye, ese es un caso. Oye, ese es terrible. Hay mucha gente que tiene miedo.
Sí. Entonces, hoy sí me voy a dar permiso de hablar en Spanglish.
Yes.
¿Ok? Porque es un programa bilingüe. ¿Ok? Vamos a hablar también sobre las famosas demandas. ¿Qué pasa si tenemos una propiedad de renta y nos demandan? O cómo evitar ser demandados también. Vamos a hablar cómo contratar una compañía que nos ayude a manejar nuestras propiedades de renta. Y por supuesto, Jorgito, ¿de qué crees más que vamos a hablar?
¿Qué más tenemos el día de hoy, Erika?
De nuestra próxima reunión.
Oye, sí, ¿verdad? ¿Es el próximo martes?
Es 16 de abril. Acuérdense, es el tercer martes
de cada mes.
Entonces vamos a hablar, me va a llevar al invitado que vino y me lo voy a llevar a la reunión, así que gente, póngase las pilas, saque su inglés sin barreras, saque su Rosetta Stone y póngase a estudiar inglés.
Saque a su hijo para que le enseñe.
Llévese al hijo para que le traduzca, porque vamos a tener por primera vez una reunión que va a ser bilingüe. ¿Ok? ¿Por qué? Porque no todo lo que vamos a encontrar en el mundo real es en español, aunque lo aprendamos en español. Yeah. Entonces, esta vez les aviso, son programas especiales y reuniones especiales que son bilingües. Así que para el martes 16 de abril.
¿En
dónde, Jorgito?
Muy bien, para mayor información pueden comunicarse al siguiente número telefónico de Erika Basurto, 281-968-1756. Les repito, 281-968-1756. Este es el teléfono directo de Erika Basurto. También la pueden ubicar en las redes sociales. Búsquenla como Erika Basurto, Erika con K, Basurto con la B de Bienes Raíces.
De bonita.
De bonita también, de beautiful, con la S, no con Z. Así que ya saben, a través del Facebook como Erika Basurto.
Correcto, entonces me mandan mensajito y yo les voy a mandar un link con la información para que se registren, para que puedan asistir. No tiene ningún costo la reunión,
gratis,
pero tiene mucho valor.
Claro.
Okay, necesito que se registren para ver cuánto llevamos, porque llevamos agüita y llevamos cafecito y llevamos algunos
snacks.
Sí, entonces necesito que se registren, gente, para que sepamos cuántos de ustedes van. Y los que se registren, Jorge, importante, vayan.
Claro, o sea, no solamente llamen, separen su asiento, sino también asistan, señoras y señores, porque vale la pena. Y ahora, si tú estás en algún tipo de negocio y quieres saber cómo invertir, pues en bienes raíces, este es el mejor momento. A lo mejor no quieres aprender todo lo que es bienes raíces, pero vas a estar con las personas indicadas, te vas a relacionar y a lo mejor tú eres un inversionista solamente de capital o solamente de cash.
Correcto, porque en este negocio no solamente es acerca del dinero, sino acerca de los contactos.
Exactamente.
Tienes que saber con quién juntarte.
Pues sí.
¿Ok? Y júntate con nosotros, que si te juntas con nosotros, te irá
muy bien.
Exactamente. Y bueno, vamos a hablar del tema, porque el tema de hoy es muy importante. ¿Por qué, Jorge? Porque hay gente que me dice, Erika, yo quiero invertir. Pero no tengo tiempo de estar haciendo los famosos flips. ¿Qué son flips? Que you buy, remodel, and sell the house. In this case, it's going to be the rental. What it means que va a ser una propiedad que tú vas a tener a largo plazo. ¿Ok? Que te va a generar dinero. Ahorita, es importante hablar de ese tema. Hay gente que dice, yo quiero esta propiedad para que me genere ingreso. Pero también tienes que saber que hay propiedades que al momento no te van a generar mucho, pero a la larga sí van a subir mucho de precio. Lo que le llamamos comprar por apreciación. Entonces, pero ahorita vamos a hablar del tema con un experto. Les voy a platicar de él. Les voy a decir quién es nuestro invitado de hoy.
Hoy el invitado de Erika Basurto, señoras y señores, es...
Y les voy a decir porque yo sí hice mi tarea.
A ver.
Mira, su nombre es Steven Spielberg. Me iba a decir Steven Rozenberg. No, no, gente, no. Porque él no sabe de inversiones.
¿Ya?
Este empresario, él es un piloto internacional de aerolíneas comerciales.
Oh, ya lo habías mencionado anteriormente, me parece.
Ya, él es inversionista de bienes raíces, estratega de negocios, orador internacional.
Wow.
En su compañía de propiedades residenciales, él hace manejo de propiedades, ¿ok? Lo que le llamamos el property management.
Okay.
Se llama Empire Industries. Que es considerada una de las compañías más destacadas en los Estados Unidos y la de mayor crecimiento en Texas.
Wow.
¿Ok? Su compañía fue fundada en 2012 y ha crecido rapidísimo. Solamente en 6, casi 7 años ha crecido tanto. Es lo que llamamos un orador motivacional, ¿ok? Y no solamente eso, sino que habla de mercadeo, de metas, de comunicación, de lo importante que es tener una lista de cosas importantes cuando tú quieres invertir y manejar tus propiedades. Y bueno, puedo seguir porque su background es bastante extenso, pero qué mejor que él hable y nos platique un poquito de él. Ya sacaron el diccionario, ya tienen ahí el Rosetta Stone y ya tienen el Google Translator listo para que puedan saber de qué vamos a hablar hoy. Así que quiero presentarles el día de hoy. Y a los que hablan inglés, don't judge me. My English is really, really, really special, but it's good enough to be able to communicate with you guys who doesn't speak Spanish. So it works enough for me. Okay? Thank you very much for being here today. Steven Rozenberg.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, we're going to talk about
some rentals, talk about buying properties, building wealth,
awesome.
and why people do it.
That's a topic that we love. Can you talk us a little bit about you? I talk a little bit about you, but it's better that you tell us what you do.
Sure. So the company, Empire Industries, we manage single-family properties. We manage houses, about 1,000 properties in Houston, Dallas, and Fort Worth. And we have clients all over the world. We have them all over Mexico, South America, Central America, Australia, China, everywhere. And, one of the things that we've learned is that people that want to own real estate, even though they want to own real estate, they really want the wealth. They want to own something that's going to give them the safety and security that the property gives them. So we talk a lot about people that want to flip, wholesale, rehab, buy notes. But all of that is a strategy to making money. It's the money that gives them what they want. It's not necessarily the job. And so what a lot of people end up doing is they end up going to these strategies without having an end goal. The end goal for a lot of people is to own a bunch of properties, and that money gives you monthly income. And so a lot of people have a hard time connecting owning properties with the strategy of what we try to do is we sit down with people, and the first thing I ask people is, why do you want to own real estate? What's the reason? Because they may think that they are going to have this income that's going to start right away and make them a lot of money, but it's not. It's something like planting a seed. The sooner you plant the seed, the tree grows, and then it gives you the shade. And they have a hard time understanding that they think that maybe at 55 or 60 years old that they can plant the seed and it's going to give them the shade that they need. The sooner you could do it, the better. But you have to have a reason and you have to have a goal. So when people tell me they want to buy real estate, I ask them why. Like, what is the destination?
Where's your goal?
What is the goal? And if they don't know the goal, then they shouldn't start buying real estate because they need to figure out the goal first. Because I bought a lot of properties without a goal, and I bought a lot of wrong properties because I didn't know what to buy. And so I learned a lot of lessons that if somebody would have asked me, why are you buying these properties? I probably would have thought differently. So to add, why do people invest in real estate? The good thing about real estate is there's no rules. There's no playbook. You could do whatever you want. You can flip properties, you can wholesale, you can buy notes, mobile homes, apartments. There's no rules. That's also a bad thing. Because there's no rules, there's no one to tell you if you're doing something right or wrong until it affects your pocketbook or a lawsuit and you get in trouble. Okay. So the rules are good, but then the rules could be bad also. And so what I try to do is explain to them that even if you're flipping properties or wholesaling properties or buy and hold, each one of those is a business. And you have to treat it like a business. You can't treat it like a hobby. Because if you treat it like a hobby, it's not going to work. And so a lot of people need to understand that when they get into real estate, they need to have a destination of why they're doing it and then work backwards. A lot of people start and they just start being busy. And they're busy, and they're going nowhere. They're just driving around in circles and they're never getting anywhere. So a lot of people that I talk to that get it, now I can help them, accelerate them to get where they want to go. Once they can tell me, I want to go here. I want 10 properties that are paid off, that are giving me $10,000 a month. I say, okay, that's where we're going. Now let me help you get there.
And so you need to set a goal with numbers.
It's got to have numbers. It's got to have numbers. It's got to have a date. It's got to be specific. They call it a SMART goal. And so it's got to be, you can't just say, I'm going to retire. You have to say, I'm going to retire on this date. So for example, if someone has a business, well, when you own a rental property, you own a business. Whether it is one property or it's 50 properties, you have profit, you have loss, you have income, you have expenses, and most importantly, you have the law. That basically is a business.
Yep.
The one person who doesn't realize that it's a business is the person who owns the property. And that's why they get in trouble. And
that's why we are here, people.
yeah. And so what they realize is that when they're running a business, the definition of a business is a commercial profitable enterprise that runs without you. That's how I was trained. So if you can't leave your job, your business, it's not a business, it's a job.
Yeah.
If you can't walk away for a week, 3 weeks, so rental properties can be a business. You can have a rental property and it can work. People don't understand that if they're doing all this work, it's not a business, it's a job. And maybe they have wrong expectations.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that. And, you know, I think a lot of us, and I was one of them, that when I first started buying properties, you know, everybody explains how to get the great deals, right? How to get a fantastic deal. She knows how to get great deals, right? She knows how to do that. I think a lot of challenges is that a lot of people, they don't think about the second part. Once you own it, how do you make that great deal give you a return month after month, year after year? And that's the business model side of it. That's the systems that work. And so that's what, the long answer to your question, that's what we do. We provide the systems to get you that return month after month, year after year.
Y eso es maravilloso, gente, porque básicamente, como él dice, cuando estamos en bienes raíces y queremos comprar propiedades, necesitamos saber para qué las estamos comprando, qué es a donde tú quieres llegar. No nada más, quiero 10 propiedades. Ok, ¿para qué? ¿Qué es tu meta? Y lo que nos está comentando, que tienes que tener una meta establecida. No solamente decir, quiero mucho dinero. Ok, quiero mucho dinero. ¿Cuánto para ti es mucho dinero? ¿Cuánto ingreso al mes tú necesitas?
¿Cuánto?
10, 15, 20, 30 mil dólares, no sé, dependiendo de tus gastos. Establecer cuánto tú necesitas de dinero y ponerle una fecha. Para tal fecha necesito esto. ¿Qué es bienes raíces? Real estate es solamente un vehículo que te va a llevar a esa meta. Pero si tú no tienes una meta,
Un objetivo.
exactamente, entonces, él como dice, mucha gente empieza al revés.
Exacto.
Mucha gente empieza comprando propiedades y no sabe ni para qué. Ah, porque me va a generar dinero. Sí, pero ¿cuánto?
¿Cuándo?
¿Para qué? Entonces tenemos que tener un por qué. ¿Por qué estoy invirtiendo? Y partir de ahí. Él dice que empecemos desde ahí. Que no empecemos al revés, comprando y después, ¿para qué era? ¿O cuánto necesito? Sin ninguna razón, sin ningún motivo. Entonces, como dicen en el Mago de Oz, ¿has visto el Mago de Oz? Que dice, si tú no tienes un lugar a donde ir, cualquier camino es bueno.
Es bueno, exactamente.
Entonces, eso es básicamente lo que estamos hablando con él. Es maravilloso porque ellos te enseñan cómo una vez que tú compres esas propiedades te ayuden a generar un ingreso y llegar a la meta que tú te estableciste. Así que establece tu meta, cuánto necesitas, cuándo lo necesitas, escríbelo y trabaja en ello. ¿Te gustó la respuesta?
Excelente. Es más, tenemos que hacer una pequeña pausa comercial. No se pierdan porque después de la pausa comercial vamos a seguir escuchando a Steven Rozenberg. Es un hombre que está en este negocio de bienes raíces, pero no solamente en el tema de bienes raíces, porque él también tiene otras habilidades.
Correcto.
Tiene otras cosas que también las está usando, pero bienes raíces es justamente la pasión con la que está hoy en día generándole mucho ingreso y tiene su propia compañía. Vamos a ir a la pausa comercial. Regresamos, no sin antes recordarles el teléfono de Erika Basurto.
Que es 281-968-1756 y se lo damos una vez más. 281-968-1756.
Te saluda tu servidor.
Hey, you're doing great.
Was that
You're gonna be like,
I said a lot more than you said, though.
I know, I just received.
That's all right.
But we have bilingual people here. There's very good information.
Yes.
Oh, we have many people here, 14 people connected. Hey, L'Oreal. Hey, Felipe. Hola, Edward. Melvin Collins. Rubí Zúñiga. Hola, Juan Villarreal. Robert Price. James Smith. Victoria Lara. Carlos Saucedo. José Luis Hernández, Ricardo de Robles, Nela Méndez, Hilda Miranda. Y pues bueno, aquí estamos con Steven Rozenberg hablando de propiedades de renta. Así que no se me vayan a despegar porque falta mucha información. Vienen las preguntas y esto se va a poner bueno. Do you want to give your information to him so we can give
Sure.
the phone number and
Yeah.
you can call?
Let me,
¿Tienes
Yeah.
una hojita?
okay, thank you.
So,
Right there?
okay, it's fine.
Yep.
Yes. Pero, o sea, aparte de piloto, o sea, me imagino que la pasión de él es volar, pero
He's
no.
asking if your passion is flying, is to be a pilot.
Yeah, you know, I love flying. I love it.
Yes.
But-
It's commercial.
Yeah, so I used to work for Continental, now United.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I fly I fly for United now, and you know when you're a pilot, you love doing it. You love it. I love flying.
Yes.
But if it ever goes away, I want to have something else. So you never know. It's a job, right? At some point, I could be out of a job. So I always want to have something else, and that's why I started buying real estate, was to have that. And then this company evolved and changed with that job. But yeah, I love flying. I've been around the world many times. And so I've gotten to see things that I would never normally see if I wasn't flying.
So, how long time do you have in the real estate?
Real estate since
Yes.
about 2003, and I've been since 1995 flying. Yeah, I'm getting old.
Wow.
Wow, it's a long time. Vamos al aire. Muy bien, estamos de regreso, señoras y señores, 2 de la tarde con 24 minutos. Hoy en un show especial con Erika Basurto, es un show bilingüe, así que si tu inglés está por allí, pues quédate con nosotros. Si todavía no entiendes al 100%, igual síguenos porque vale la pena, hay mucha información. El inglés hoy en día es muy importante que lo comencemos ya a trabajar. Por más que digamos, hay mucho hispano en Houston, pero hay mucha información muy buena en inglés. Pocas son, por no decir que solamente Erika Basurto hace un show de radio donde enseña temas de real estate. Pero yo las veces que necesito practicar o escuchar algo de inglés, voy escuchando emisoras anglosajonas o en inglés básicamente y sobre todo estas emisoras que tienen música country, que me encanta también escucharlas, pero escucho a la hora de los comerciales mucha información con temas relacionados de flip-flop, de real estate y todo eso, y gente que está dando cursos, seminarios y que te están invitando a que tú también te sumes al tema de real estate. En español, Erika Basurto es la única persona que está haciendo un show en radio aquí desde Houston a través de la 920 para mi gente. Y hoy con su invitado, Rozenberg, que estamos aprendiendo muchísimo. Erika, regreso contigo.
Claro que sí, y quiero que sepan, para los que tengan propiedades de renta, que no las quieran, que tengan ya muchas y digan es muy difícil para manejarlas, o una o dos o las que tengan, la compañía de él se dedica a darles ese servicio de property management, se llama Empire what?
Industries.
Industries. Thank you, Steven. Can you believe it? Yes, people, I forget some things. Y él les ayuda con el management. Pueden llamar a un número de teléfono para que les den información.
Con Rozenberg se pueden comunicar marcando el 888-866-6227. 888-866-6227 en inglés.
Ya estamos aquí echándole las ganas, ustedes ven, ¿verdad?
That's correct.
Let me see that. Maybe me.
No. You writing? No, espérate, le está corrigiendo.
There you go.
Okay.
You're writing in English.
Muy bien, se había equivocado. Sí, no, yo. Vamos de nuevo entonces, en español primero.
En español.
3 veces 8, ¿ok?
Ajá.
888-866-6727. Ahora
Now
sí.
in English.
En inglés. 888-866-6727.
Ahora sí, ya en chino no podemos porque ya es mucho.
Oh, chino también te lo digo. No, eso es otro día.
Thank you. Pues bueno, vamos a empezar con las preguntas. Yo la voy a decir en español y él nos va a responder en inglés. Así que si tienen alguna duda, pues me hablan y les traduzco. Vamos a tratar de traducir algunas partes, pero vamos a hacerlo 100% bilingüe. Gente, estoy muy emocionada porque este es el primer programa de este tipo. Pero bueno, I got questions for Steven. I know you understand Spanish, right?
A little bit. A little bit.
Well, my question number one es ¿por qué invertir en propiedades de renta?
I think it depends on the goal. It depends on, why do you want to do this? And so everybody has a different reason. The one reason could be that they want monthly income, right? They want security from their job. So for me, I have a regular job, and I bought real estate in case something happened with that job.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the safety and security that money from the real estate could give you. Everybody that I have ever met and learned about was wealthy because of real estate.
Yep.
So when I started doing research and I started learning how these people get rich or wealthy, majority of them were tied to real estate at some point in their lives or their families' lives. So it's just a common thread. You don't have to be the smartest person to own real estate. You don't have to be, the best salesperson. But if you own real estate over time, it's going to go up in value, which is, there's different reasons why you would own real estate, right? And there's different reasons when you look at a deal, depending on your goal, that would decide whether or not you're going to buy something. So if you looked at a deal and you looked at that and it had $100 cash flow a month, you may say, not a good deal, right? But my answer would be it depends on your goal.
Yeah, exactly. Because many people in the Hispanic community, when they say, I want to invest in real estate, the first thing they think is a flip.
Yes.
I want to do a flip. I want to buy a property and buy it cheap, put some money on it, and then sell it.
Right.
And it's just one type of investment strategy.
It's just one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one.
And there's multiples. And you want to really think about, if you do a flip, what happens once you're done with that? You got to go find another one.
Yep.
And another one and another one. And there's nothing wrong with doing that, but you got to realize that you have to keep working to do that. It's a great way to make money. It works very well, and you've been very successful with what you do, and it works. But you understand why you're doing it, and you have other strategies. So when I think of real estate, it's one of the few things that you could buy for $100,000
Mm-hmm.
and put $20,000 of work into it,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's worth $180,000. Let's say. There's not, what other investment could you do that? And maybe you can do that inside of 3 weeks, right? You could take that property, put that work in, and do that. You could also take that property, put that work in, and then put a tenant in that property.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could sit back and you could say, you know what? I'm going to collect the money every month, month after month, year after year. And that house that you bought for 100, let's say it's worth 180, it's going to go up in value. And as it goes up in value, so does the rent.
Yeah.
And so let's say you have the property for 15 years and now it's doubled in value. So it went from 180 to 360. So now you have an asset that's worth 360 that a tenant is paying the mortgage down for you.
Yeah, for you. Yeah, you don't pay it.
You're not paying it. You're able to ride the appreciation. You're able to depreciate the property for taxes. There's no other investment that I know of that gives you all of those things without you doing anything. So we have a lot of people that live in other countries that buy a property. They give it to us.
Mm-hmm.
They never come to Houston. They never see the property. We take care of everything for them. It's going up in value. The tenant is paying the mortgage down. They're making the difference every month. And they're not doing anything.
No, as I always say, we don't buy houses. We buy numbers.
It's the numbers.
know?
Real estate is math.
Yeah.
It's got to be a mathematical equation. The challenge is most people don't understand what those numbers are telling them. They don't understand what the math is telling them.
And this is my second question. That
Okay.
I'm glad you're talking about it because many people don't know how to identify a property that have potential. So, que le estoy preguntando cómo identificar una propiedad que tiene potencial para renta. Porque yo la puedo ver y decir, esta propiedad yo la quiero para ponerla de renta. Pero ¿qué es lo que tenemos que tomar en cuenta? How to identify a property that have potential?
Well, that's a tricky question, and the reason I say that is what you think is a good deal with potential could be different than what I think is a good deal. So if I say I'm looking for something, let's just say, for example, I say I want something for 30 years to give to my son. And you say I want something for 5 years and sell it. You have a different potential than I have.
Correct.
One is not better than the other, but they're different strategies.
Different goals.
So I may look at a strip mall in the Heights that's $1 million, and I say that's a good deal. You may say I like this house in Spring that's $100,000, and that's a good deal for me. They both have potential, but it depends on what we're going to do with the deal. And so that's the thing. But going back to what you said earlier is the numbers will tell you if it's a good deal based on your goal and your parameters. So the biggest challenge is people don't put parameters and goals to what they're looking for. So they don't know if it's a good deal or bad deal because they never take the time to say, like, if you and I had this conversation and you said, okay, Steve, that's a bad deal for me. And I said, well, that's a bad deal for me. Well, then if we saw those deals, if I came across a house in Spring it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, I would say bad deal. You would look at that and I would say that's a good deal for you, and vice versa. So
yeah,
the potential is tough. It depends on the person and what they want.
Yeah, and the goals.
And the goals.
And thank you. And the number 3, that is very common for us as the Hispanic community in the USA. We like to buy cash.
Yeah.
We love buying cash. What do you recommend based on your experience? Using cash to buy a rental property or financing? ¿Conseguimos un préstamo para comprar la casa o la compramos cash?
Cash.
Well, cash is king. Cash is always good.
Yes.
Cash gives you a better negotiating position.
Yeah.
So when you come in and say, I'm paying cash, you can buy, maybe get a better price point. But unless you have an unlimited supply of cash, how many houses can you buy?
Correct.
That's the challenge. So if you were to tell me what's the best case scenario, I would say have the cash, buy the deal, then get a loan on it after and get your cash back and go do it again and get your cash back. Because unless you have unlimited cash, how many properties can you buy? You're going to be limited at some point. Whether you're getting the money from a private lender or hard money lender or conventional loan, at some point you're borrowing that money. And there's nothing wrong with borrowing money as long as you have a purpose for it.
Yep.
And there's a difference between financing losses and financing the growth. And so a lot of people don't understand the difference of those two. And they may buy deals because it's a great deal and go and pay cash, and maybe they overpaid. Or maybe they did not do the proper homework of what is needed to get the property rent ready. So you buy a house and you pay $100,000 and you think it's going to be $10,000 to fix, but it's $45,000 to fix, and you didn't factor that in correctly because you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And we all know people that have bought properties that have bought great deals and underestimated costs.
Yeah, the cost.
So cash is great, but you have to use it correctly because cash is not a good form of leverage because you only have so many houses. So if I bought one house for $100,000, or I could buy 4 houses with $20,000 down each.
Yes.
Now I have 4 assets, right? Goes back to the original question. If I said I'm going to pay these off over 30 years and then I want the money, well, 4 is much better than 1.
Yeah.
But if you said, hey, I don't have a job and I need that money every month to live on, then the 1 would be better because you're going to make more cash flow off of the 1 property.
Yeah, y eso es correcto lo que él dice. Si vas a comprar una casa, mucha gente me pregunta, ¿compro cash o agarro un préstamo? ¿Por qué voy a pagar intereses si tengo mi propio dinero? Él dice que a menos que tengas una cantidad ilimitada de efectivo disponible, es mejor usar el leverage, que es apalancarte con préstamos. Ahora va a depender en tu meta final. Si tú lo que quieres es la ganancia a largo plazo, entonces puedes usar con $100,000 en vez de una casa de 100,000, compras 4, usas 25,000 de down payment y gastos de cierre, y a la larga tienes 4 casas que están apreciando y vas a tener dinero. Pero Si no tienes dinero en ese momento o no tienes un trabajo y tú lo que quieres es el ingreso rápido, entonces puedes usar tu cash y todo el dinero que entre de renta va a ir directamente a tu bolsillo. Así que va dependiendo cuáles son tus metas. I always make it sure.
Okay.
Ok, vamos a hablar un poquito acerca de lo que es management. Management is your favorite topic.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know, the biggest reason that investors fail and get sued and get in trouble is because they don't have standardization. So this business, when we own a rental property, right, we're not selling a phone. We're not selling a widget. All we're doing is selling a service. That service is through standards and procedures, right? When you have a tenant, you have a lease agreement, and you have certain things that have to happen. I'm not selling anything. It's a service that's transferring.
Correct.
So the contracts are vital, number one. Understanding what's in them and understanding that here's a big challenge with a lot of investors is that they sign a lease. I sign a lease with you. You're going to pay me rent on the 1st of the month. If you don't pay me on the 1st of the month, on the 3rd of the month, there's late fees. Okay? Let's say.
Okay.
And then if you don't pay me 4th, 5th, 6th, I keep hitting you with late fees. And then the contract, the lease agreement, says that on the 9th of the month, I'm going to file an eviction on you. Okay? You have to abide by that contract, right?
Yeah, correct.
As the tenant.
Yeah.
But I have to abide by it also. So when the tenant calls me and says, let's say Monday is the 3rd of the month.
Okay.
So on Monday, late fees start. Okay? And they say, I'll get paid on Friday and I'll pay you Friday.
Even if I feel bad, like, oh, poor lady,
You
she's
feel
not
bad.
working.
I'm gonna, I ran over my dog, whatever happened.
all the stories are
All the
real.
stories, right? And they tell you, I'm going to pay you on Friday. And you say, I'll tell you what, if you pay me on Friday, I won't charge you any late fees. You, or me, actually, as the investor, I broke the contract first. The contract says I have to charge you late fees. I don't get the option because it's written in the contract. So by me not charging you late fees, I have violated the contract.
Let me tell them this in Spanish because
Yeah.
this is very important,
It is,
people.
yes.
It's very important.
I see
to
you
tell
changing
that.
a little color actually as I say
Yeah,
this.
because I'm like, I feel bad sometimes. Pero él dice, es importante los contratos, pero no nada más hacer el contrato que nos protege tanto a ti como dueño de la casa como al inquilino, sino que como un contrato tiene reglas que tenemos que seguir ambas partes tenemos que seguirlas. ¿Qué quiere decir? Si tú estás viviendo en la propiedad que yo te estoy rentando a ti y dice el contrato que tú me tienes que pagar el día 3, si no a partir del día 3 yo te tengo que cargar
Cobrar
un fee, ¿ok? Yo lo tengo que cobrar, porque si yo no te estoy cobrando a ti porque me dices, hoy no me pagaron, o pasó esto,
No,
pasó el
muchas
otro,
historias.
y yo no te estoy cobrando a ti esos late fees, o ese fee por pagarme tarde, ¿ok? Yo estoy rompiendo ese contrato también.
Yes.
Yo como dueño de la propiedad, no solamente tú por no pagar a tiempo, ¿ok? Entonces es importante que cuando haya un contrato, ambas
Se
partes
cumpla.
respeten tanto en lo bueno como en lo no tan bueno. Entonces ese punto es bien importante porque él tuvo una experiencia que tal vez nos platique, no sé ahorita, donde el juez, cuando tú llevas una demanda ante la corte, él va a ver que ambas partes hayan cumplido con esa parte del contrato. Entonces, si a ti te dice, tú como dueño de la casa,
No cumplió.
no cumpliste en cobrar el late fees, tú fuiste el primer, late fees es el primero que está fallando
Exacto.
en ese contrato.
En malograr ese contrato.
Correcto. Y ahorita, Jorgito, pues ya nos vamos a ir casi a comerciales.
Sí,
Y
rapidísimo.
ahorita que regresemos vamos a hablar de reparaciones, de demandas y otros temas importantísimos. Pero antes de irnos quiero darle mi número de teléfono para que me llamen. Mi número de teléfono es 281-968-1756. 281-968-1756. Y regresamos. We come back in few minutes. Yeah, that's very important.
It is, and you know what I was going to say. The other thing is you know, if you have multiple properties, they could say you're discriminating against me because I'm a woman, and you're not charging them. So now it's a fair housing lawsuit.
You have to charge everyone.
Everyone is the same.
It doesn't matter.
And the judges are saying, if you put it in the contract, so same thing with maintenance fees. You know, you want to charge a big fee when they charge maintenance. If you put it in there, you got to charge them. You don't have the option. So you be careful what you put in there, because you can't expect them to abide by it, and you get to pick and choose when you do or don't.
Yeah, you're right.
And I've done it before too when I had my own properties, and that's the scary thing is you know, that's why you got to run it like a business, because you're being nice could get you in trouble.
That's true.
Because all they have to do is tell a lawyer, and the lawyer will say, well, let me see the contract. And they go, she didn't charge you late fees? And then they can go to a judge and say, well, you voided the contract first.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's being nice is not always, you know, doing the right thing is not the best thing in your interest sometimes. I get doing the right thing, you're trying to be nice, I get that. But if you were not the owner of the property and you were working for someone and you had to tell someone, I did not get you your money because I was being nice, you would probably get fired, right?
For sure.
So then you have to say, okay, well, you have to think of yourself as running a business, and you have to separate yourself from being the owner of the property to the one running the property.
That's why it's better to have a management.
It's better to have someone else, third party, because we have no skin in the game. We're running a business. We're saying, listen, we understand.
Yeah.
However, we have policies,
Yeah.
and that's
correct.
the challenge.
Wow.
Can I leave these off when we go to the next one, or do you need them on?
No.
Fine.
It's okay. Okay.
I used to just put the time in for the music,
Ah.
but I can listen to it here, so
Yeah, it's good.
okay.
Yes.
So déjame saludar.
It echoes a little bit to me. That's why.
Por mí
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
I think I have a bigger head than most of
Right.
you.
It's hard.
We're gonna
Okay.
use just the 5 and the 7 to save time.
Erika, estamos de vuelta.
Y ya
Muy bien, seguimos aquí en el
regresamos.
show, señoras y señores. Y...
Yo te gané, Jorgito.
Eso,
No,
permítame,
yo te gané.
permítame. Ah, eso.
Y me tenía el micrófono apagado, pero no importa
Sí.
porque en Facebook sí me oyeron.
Muy bien, recordarles que para este martes 16 de abril va a haber una reunión y es totalmente gratis. Lo único que tienen que hacer, bueno, para los que quieren aprender sobre temas de real estate, con Erika Basurto, pueden comunicarse al 281-968-1756. Martes 16 de abril, 281-968-1756. Comuníquense, separen su espacio para este martes 16 de abril. Muy bien, ahora sí, seguimos con Erika en este show bilingüe hoy aquí en las 9:20 para mi gente.
Claro que sí, vamos a hablar. Cuando nosotros como inversionistas tenemos una propiedad rentada, ¿ok? ¿Quién paga qué en las reparaciones? ¿Me entiendes? Porque hay gente que te habla, hey, se me tapó el toilet.
Ya.
Ey, no se va el agua. Ey, esto no sirve, el refrigerador, la estufa.
Las luces.
Las luces. ¿Qué
Calefacción.
paga quién? Entonces vamos a preguntarle a Steven, porque él sí sabe, él maneja más de 1000 propiedades. Entonces vamos a preguntarle, no le digan a nadie, eso es nada más para nosotros aquí en Facebook que nos pase los tips, ¿ok? Entonces vamos a preguntarle. En las reparaciones, nosotros como inversionistas tenemos que saber porque estamos comprando propiedades. En las reparaciones, we're going with number 5.
Number 5.
De las reparaciones. ¿Quién paga qué?
So that can be a tough question. And the reason I say that is here in Texas, we have what's called Texas Property Code. Texas Property Code is what basically is the law when it comes to fixing things in a rental property. And they define, is this making the house unsafe or uninhabitable? Are you putting the tenant in a bad position? So for example, let's say, and we'll go back to you having let's say in the lease agreement, you have a $250 maintenance fee trip charge. Every time they come out, you charge $250. Well, you can't charge that if it's something that's causing the house unsafe. So if the roof caves in, you can't charge them $250 to come fix it. So our thing is if it's cosmetic or something caused by the tenant, it's their responsibility. It's the tenant's responsibility. If the tenant says the window broke, okay, we can fix it, but it's your bill. It's not the owner's bill. If they say the toilet's clogged, the toilet's broken, well, the first question is how many bathrooms are in the house? Because if there's only one, that's an emergency. If there's two, it's not an emergency. So if there's two, then obviously we try to find out, why is it clogged? Did somebody shove a toy? Or is there a root that went through the plumbing? So there's two different ways. If the root went through the plumbing, it's not their fault. They don't pay. If it's a doll and the plumber pulls out a toy, it's their bill. So you have to know that the important thing is when you have a rental property, again, this goes back to running a business, you have to know the law. Because the tenants are protected and they have rights. And your job is to provide a safe, habitable property that complies with Texas property code. For example, every time a tenant moves out, you by law have to change all the locks in the property. You have to check the smoke detectors. Certain doors in the house have to have certain peepholes. And if you don't, it doesn't comply with Texas property code. And what happens is if somebody breaks in or something happens, the first thing the insurance company is going to ask, was this house up to code? And if you don't have proof to show it was up to code, meaning the right peepholes or something, they may not cover the policy.
Qué importante es eso. That is very important.
And one more thing, let's talk about animals. So there's animals that are on the dangerous breed list. If the tenant has an animal on the dangerous breed list, pit bull, Rottweiler, Doberman, there's about 11 of them, your insurance company will cancel you. And they will come and look and actually look over the fence to see what kind of dog is there.
Wow, fíjense gente, qué importante es, cosas que a veces uno sabe a medias. Y por ejemplo esto del seguro que él hablaba, que a veces dependiendo de si tú estás al código, te va a respetar el seguro, el pago si pasa algo, si no, no. Por ejemplo, él dice que cada vez que se cambie, por estos son ejemplos, que tú rentas una propiedad y cambias de inquilinos, cada vez que uno salga tú tienes que cambiar las chapas. Importante.
Necesario.
Ok, por ejemplo, si se tapa un toilet, hay que ver por qué se tapó, qué es la causa.
¿Y cuántos hay en la casa?
Exacto, por ejemplo, porque no todo es emergencia.
Sí,
A
claro.
todos nos pasa que la gente que está rentando la casa les pasa una emergencia el domingo en la noche.
Exacto.
Entonces tienes que ver que es emergencia, que no. Por ejemplo, los toilets, si fue culpa de ellos pagan. Si fue culpa del mantenimiento de la casa que ya es vieja, bueno, tú pagas.
Exacto.
Entonces, bueno, va a depender de cada caso. Por eso es importante los contratos y establecer quién paga qué. And the last question, and I know you're really good at answering this question. esta pregunta es muy importante. Entonces, después de toda esta plática, a mí me gustaría, ¿verdad? Como inversionista, que decimos, contratar una compañía que haga todo eso por mí.
Exacto.
So, ¿qué tan caro es contratar una compañía de management? ¿Y qué hace la compañía por mí como inversionista? Contratar una compañía que maneje nuestras propiedades es caro. ¿Y qué hace la management company para mí?
Number 7.
Number 7.
Yes.
You know, to answer the first question, I think what a property management company does is they put structure into your business. So you have your property is a business.
Yes.
So if we do that every day, we're going to do what we do very well because that's all we do every day. So for example, we don't flip properties, we don't wholesale. All we do, so if I tried to flip or wholesale or rehab a property, I wouldn't do it very good because I don't do it every day the way she does. We manage the asset to help you gain wealth. But to answer your question, as entrepreneurs, so when you own a rental property, you're an entrepreneur, right? The one thing that we as entrepreneurs don't value is our own time.
Yeah.
We only have 24 hours in the day. If you have multiple properties, and let's say, for example, the Texas property code and you don't know the law. The question is are you going to take the time, if you really want to run your properties like a business, are you going to take your time to learn the Texas property code and learn the laws? Or for about $3 a day, you can hire my company. So for the cost of a cup of coffee, you say, I don't want to have to worry about it. I want to go buy properties. I want to be with my family. I want to live my life. I want to have my job. Let them worry about Texas property code. Let them worry about lease enforcement. So is it worth it? are we worth a cup of coffee a day? That's the question.
Ya, absolutamente. Lo que está diciendo es que realmente nuestro trabajo como inversionistas es obviamente hacer todo este negocio y no estar creando cada propiedad. Él dice que aproximadamente por $3 al día que te cuesta contratar una compañía, exactamente lo mismo que te cuesta un café, hasta más barato, te cuesta contratar una compañía que maneje tu propiedad, porque el tiempo que te va a llevar a aprenderte todo el código, que te va a llevar buscar contratos y estar lidiando con todos estos problemas, si tú contratas una compañía como la de él que lo haga por ti, te va a costar aproximadamente por propiedad más o menos $3.
$3 diario.
Exacto, por día. Entonces, pues ustedes lo pueden analizar.
3 por 3, 9.
And the one thing I'll say is, unless you've been on the other side of having a tenant in your property for months, not paying, the mental stress that you go through, wondering, are they going to pay? What's going to happen? Unless, like, I've been there many times before, and that is something you can't put a dollar on. So not to worry about that or have to deal with it, just to make a phone call and say, okay, take care of it and be done.
Yeah.
You know as well as I do, there's a lot to be said. Is that worth it? I would say so.
It is. But I need a phone number for that company, please.
Yes.
I want to take it right now.
En español le vamos a dar el teléfono de Steven Rozenberg, señoras y señores, que es el invitado de hoy de Erika Basurto. El teléfono para ponerse en contacto con Steven Rozenberg y su empresa, que se llama Empire Industries, es el 888-866-6727. 888-866-6727. Y ustedes se pueden comunicar con Steven Rozenberg a través de esta línea telefónica.
And do they speak Spanish in that line?
Yes.
Oh, sí, ya.
Hay personas que le van a atender en español, justamente marcando el 888-866-6727 si estás interesado en contratar los servicios de Steven Rozenberg.
Así tengas una propiedad, o 2, o 3, o 10, las que tú tengas desde una propiedad, tú puedes llamar y decir, sabes que me quito este dolor de cabeza, ese estrés de que no me pagan por 1 mes, 2 meses, 5 meses, y ya como la gente aquí ya se sabe las leyes, entonces no quieras cargar con ese estrés todo el tiempo, gente. Hay que pagar un poquito, es parte de la ganancia y hay que usarla para eso. Ellos también hacen evictions. You also do evictions, right?
We do evictions, we do everything. So we take care of everything.
Por ahí tengo unos inversionistas que me tienen que estar oyendo. Ya vieron, para que no se pongan estresados. Tenemos que hagan las evictions por nosotros. Así que, well, we have a couple minutes.
And next week, what do we talk at your event?
We have very good topics for the next event. It's going to be a bilingual event, people. So, we're going to talk, I'm going to say in Spanish and you say in English.
Okay.
I'm going to say, necesito una LLC para mi propiedad de alquiler.
Do I need an LLC for my rental property?
¿Qué saber antes de comprar una propiedad de alquiler?
What to know before buying a rental property?
Ventajas de invertir en propiedades de alquiler como ingresos actuales, apreciación, apalancamiento, ventajas fiscales.
All the advantages of investing in rentals, current income, appreciation, leverage, and tax advantage.
Las desventajas como mucha responsabilidad, gastos inesperados, malos inquilinos, cuando...
To make the tenant selection right. That, I can tell you, in my experience, is the biggest challenge that people have, is jumping the gun and putting the wrong tenant in the property.
That takes your time, your fees and everything.
Yeah.
Wow, el tiempo nos ganó. Me quedan 10 segundos, Erika. Gracias a Steve Rozenberg. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
And thank you, Steven, for being here. See you next time. See you on April 16.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Tenemos 2 minutos antes.
No.
Hola, soy Luis Mier.
Yeah.
Por eso te digo.
I know.
Too soon? Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Wow.
First time we did something like this, right, Jorge?
Yes.
That's first, huh?
I was telling Matthew, he's the owner of the radio, and because he doesn't speak Spanish much. And
Yes.
he's like, oh, yeah, I would like to be there. Like, he was
Ah,
he was
okay.
excited.
Cool.
Ok, people, ya me despido porque ya es hora de irnos. Bye. Thank you, Steven, por estar aquí. Say
No
bye.
problem. We'll see you guys.
See you on April 16th. Ok.
That's right.
Un beso, los
¿Quiere
queremos
que va a estar
mucho.
en tu evento?
Sí, ya les dije, va a estar en mi evento el día 16. Los quiero mucho. Besito. Bye.